This show is brought to you by Safety FM.
Baby, I can tell you're having fun. You got my heart on a string just to watch me run. I don't ever chase. No, 'cause I'm the price any boy, that's your mistake. Couldn't see what we had, gave you more than a chance. Now I see it's time to cut you off. Somebody bring me the scissors. I'm about to cut my hair. Get that boy, somebody bring me the scissors. I'm about to cut my hair. Get that boy, it's time to cut this time to cut you up.
Following program is rated MALSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Finally, show with the balls to call it like it is. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Countdown to audio torture.
The Rated R Safety Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Let the eardrum pain begin.
Forget the corporate bullshit. This is the Rated R Safety Show with your host, Dr. It doesn't matter who the host is.
Oh, you know that, and so do I, that it does not matter who the host is. What has always mattered is who the listeners are. Anyways, today's Thursday, December the 12th of 2024, day 347th of the year, and only 19 days left to go. We are broadcasting from the Safety FM studios in Orlando, Florida. I'm coming across the multiverse known as Safety FM and hanging out with our friends and colleagues over there.
Radio Big. Streaming 24/7 at radiobig.fm.
Yep, streaming 24/7 at radiobig.fm. So anyways, how are you? I hope everything is good and grand inside of your neck of the woods as we are hanging out. Now, listen, I know some people are starting to take off as early as next week, so good for them as you're doing the thing. So, hopefully you're having a grand time out there as we're in the holiday season. Or at least a scenario before we get to whatever the hell it is. Let's just call it what it is. You're out there shopping for a whole bunch of stuff. So there you go. Okay, so anyways, let's talk about what we do around here. Our show consists of safety in the news and safety. That's kind of what we do. So if you're interested, intrigued, and all that kind of fun stuff and want to interact with the show, callinradio.com will get you there. All you have to do is go to callinradio.com. Once you get there, it's going to give you some options for video, audio, and text messaging. So that's some options for you. You don't have to use the social media ones. If you do, don't be too surprised if I don't respond immediately, which apparently tends to upset people. I try to do everything on the screens here. So there you go. So that's it. That's it. So we talk about news and safety. I come back and I give you some level of a main story. And then we have some professional broadcasters that are hanging out with us, telling us some información.
I have some information for you.
So they tell us everything that's going on outside of there. So there we go. Anyways, with that being said, why don't we start talking about what the hell was trending in the overnight? Because people like that stuff.
Here is what was trending. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, so as I take a look at the trends of the ends of the ends, it goes like this. A follow-up on the Wisconsin man who faked his death this summer, and an ancient artifact hits the auction block. We'll talk about that as we get into the hit list. Also, more charges in connection with Liam Payne's death, and James Patterson shares the wealth. More about that in showbiz. Also, a fourth Meet the Parents movie is in the works, and Rob Schneider shares his plan to rival The View. So we'll see what happens there. And also, the Sussex latest project is something that we will address and talk about, and all of the stuff that you can do. So if you are ready, I am ready. Let's go ahead and bring in our friends from Feature Story News and let them tell us about what the hell is going on around the planet. And listen, I will tell you, they give you some detailed stuff that I normally can't find anywhere else, so that's why we hang out with them. A lot of people have talked to me in the past about, did you have a whole bunch of reporters before? Yes. And the great thing and the bad thing there is that we started to sound a lot similar to every other show that's out there. So I said, let's stick with the people that the originals that were hanging out with us from the very beginning. So that's how that ended up happening. So with that being said, let's bring in our friends from Feature Story News right now.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Ollie Barrett. The leader of the rebel group that now controls Syria says the notorious prisons run by ousted President Assad will be closed and his security forces disbanded. The head of the HTS group also promised to punish those involved in killing detainees. FBI Director Christopher Wray says he will resign before President-elect Donald Trump takes office. It comes just days after Trump announced his intentions to replace Wray. Kate Fisher reports from Washington.
In an interview over the weekend, Trump said he was very unhappy with the things that Wray had done. Under Wray's tenure, the FBI's investigated Trump, including assisting in a federal probe into his handling of classified documents. In a Truth Social post, Trump said that Wray's resignation is, quote, a great day for America. In announcing that he would step down, Christopher Wray said he believed it would be the best way to avoid dragging the Bureau deeper into the fray. Trump says he wants to appoint Kash Patel as his replacement. He's a longtime loyalist who's called for dramatically limiting the FBI's authority. Kate Fisher, Washington.
Security along the India-Bangladesh border has been beefed up after attacks against a diplomatic outpost. The Bangladesh Nationalist Party is organising a rally to protest against the incidents in India's northeastern Tripura. Ishan Garg reports from New Delhi.
Officials say local police and the border security forces have deployed troops along the border for the past week. This comes after Bangladesh's erstwhile main opposition party, the BNP, said it would organize a march till India's Tripura state's capital, Agartala. It later said the march will conclude at the India-Bangladesh border's checkposts. Tensions between Delhi and Dhaka have mounted as attacks on Hindu minorities in Bangladesh have risen since Sheikh Hasina's ouster in August. In retaliation to the arrest of a popular Hindu monk in Bangladesh, right-wing groups in Tripura had attacked a Bangladeshi diplomatic outpost earlier this month. And now the BNP says it is launching a protest against what it calls an insult to Bangladesh and its people. Ishan Garg, New Delhi.
The United Nations General Assembly has overwhelmingly voted in favour of a ceasefire in Gaza. The vote isn't legally binding. The United States voted against the ceasefire, as Jodie Jacobs reports from the UN in New York.
158 countries at the General Assembly voted for the ceasefire. 13 countries abstained and 9 voted against the ceasefire resolution. These included the United States and Israel. The US says the document risks sending a dangerous message to Hamas that there's no need to negotiate or release the hostages. The General Assembly also passed a resolution calling on Israel to reverse its decision of banning the UN aid agency UNRWA from January. Jody Jacobs, New York.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN. The man accused of trying to assassinate Donald Trump on his Florida golf course is looking to delay his trial until December 2025. His lawyers say Ryan Routh is considering an insanity defense. Nick Harper reports from Washington.
Ryan Ruth's team says the extraordinary volume of evidence and material that needs to be examined ahead of the trial means it shouldn't take place for another 12 months. His trial date is currently scheduled for February the 10th. He's already pleaded not guilty to the attempted assassination following his arrest in September after allegedly lying in wait for 12 hours in bushes surrounding Trump's golf club in West Palm Beach. I'm Nick Harper in Washington.
New analysis shows more than 2 million migrants have entered the US per year under the Biden administration. That includes legal and illegal migration. The recent surge outpaces any other period in US history, as Tony Waterman reports.
The New York Times analysis of government data shows that annual net migration averaged 2.4 million people from 2021 to 2023. This is the number of people coming to the U.S. minus the number of those leaving. According to the report, 60% of the immigrants were undocumented. It's believed the Biden administration's looser immigration rules and turmoil in places like Haiti and Venezuela are behind the surge. Illegal immigration has plummeted in the second half of this year after Biden tightened the rules around asylum.
To recount the top stories, the leader of the rebel group that controls Syria says the notorious prisons run by ousted President Assad will be closed and his security forces disbanded. FBI Director Christopher Wray says he'll resign before President-elect Trump takes office. Security along the India-Bangladesh border's been beefed up after attacks against a diplomatic outpost, and the UN General Assembly's voted in favour of a ceasefire in Gaza in a non-binding vote. That's the latest feature story news. Ollie Barrett reporting.
Listen to our host
Of the Rated R Safety Show.
self-implode on our airwaves, only on Safety FM.
This portion of the show has been sponsored by Private Internet Access, America's #1 virtual private network, or VPN. Even if you use incognito mode, internet service providers is storing your browser data and many times even selling it. But Private Internet Access, or PIA, can help you. PIA encrypts and reroutes your internet traffic through one of its own servers, hiding your data from your internet service provider or network admin. And with servers in over 75 countries, you can get unrestricted access to geo-blocked content from around the world. PIA comes with easy-to-use apps and browsers extension for all devices, a rock-solid privacy policy, open source security, advanced customization settings, and it was just ranked the fastest VPN in the world by PC Magazine. And if you sign up right now with PIA, you can take advantage of a special deal only for Safety FM listeners. Only by using the following link, you can get the digital privacy for less than $2 a month. Yes, you did hear me correctly, less than $2 a month, and an extra 4 months for free. So that means for only $1.98 a month and 83% off, you can get this service for you right now. That's so much more inexpensive than virtually every other VPN on the market. And if you get it right now, you can take PIA's 30-day risk-free challenge. You can try it out for 30 days, see if you like it, and if not, just return it for a full refund. So just go to safetyfm.com/VPN. That's safetyfm.com/VPN to try out the best VPN on the planet completely risk-free. Now remember, safetyfm.com/VPN.
You are listening to a radio god. What? This has to be an error. That host is not a radio god. Anyways, this is the Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
We all want to make sure that our family is protected in medical emergencies. What many of us don't realize is that health insurance won't always cover the full amount of an emergency medical flight. Even with comprehensive coverage, you could get hit with high deductibles and copays. That's why an Air Medcare Network membership is so important. As a member, if an emergency arises, you won't see a bill for air medical transport when flown by an AMCN provider. Best of all, a membership covers your entire household for as little as $85 a year. AMCN providers are called upon to transport nearly 100,000 patients a year. This is coverage no family should go without. Now, as a Jay Allen Show listener, you'll get up to a $50 e-gift card with a new membership. Simply visit airmedcarenetwork.com/safety and use the offer code SAFETY. And don't forget to tell them that Jay Allen sent you.
Safety never sounded so terrible. Rated R Safety Show.
It's always amazing to me on how technology changes, and so does the environment that we're in. And cyber criminals will do everything they can to take advantage of a system. If you don't own a home, you have nothing to fear about what I'm about to tell you. But if you own a home like me and you don't guard it with home title lock, you're inviting home title fraud. One of the fastest growing crimes Cyber thieves around the world know our home values are sky high at the moment, and that makes us a target. The crime is scary simple. Let me explain it to you real quick. A cyber thief simply forges your name on a property sale form and refiles it. That's it. Now he or she is on the deed of your home and you have no idea that you're a victim. Then the person takes out a loan on your home and vanishes, leaving you to prove to the police that you didn't commit bank fraud. Home Title Locks puts a virtual barrier around your home title. The instant they detect any kind of tampering or anybody messing around, they help shut it down. Look, if you have equity in your home, you need to guard it the best way that you can. Some people might even go as far as guarding it with their life. Go to HometitleLock.com and register your address to see if you already are a victim. And enter the code RADIO. That's RADIO. That's the code RADIO for 30 days free of protection. That's code RADIO at HometitleLock.com.
You are listening to a renowned safety expert, Dr. Jay Allen, on Safety FM. Changing safety cultures, one broadcast and one podcast at a time. Join the fun on social media and find us on Facebook at Safety FM.
Okay, 16 minutes past the top of the hour as you and I are hanging out on this lovely Thursday. Yeah, because that's the day of the week that it is. So let's get into some information because, you know, we need to get into what is going on. That's for sure. Okay, so a follow-up to Wisconsin man who faked his own death, then disappeared to Europe, is back and in jail. So let's talk about it. In August, Ryan Bodard disappeared for after taking out his kayak on the Green Lake and was presumed dead when law enforcement found that his capsized vessel was an empty vehicle in a nearby park. Investigators also found his tackle box, wallet, license, and keys. After 8-week search, Ryan's body was never found, but analysts of his laptop showed that he had been in communication with a woman in Uzbekistan, leading officials to try to track him there. During a Wednesday press conference, Green Lake County Sheriff Mike Podol, who said that Ryan contacted the police about a month ago when the story first made headlines. Since then, Mark said that the police have made an emotional appeal to try to get Ryan to come home. On Tuesday, he landed back in the United States and was taken into custody by the police, though the sheriff was light on the details on how he got back. That's going to be up to him someday. Is what he said. Also, we're not going to release that. We brought a dad back on his own, the sheriff said. However, the police did explain that the details of Bogart's disappearance and that he ditched his kayak in the lake, which was the deepest in the state, and then paddled to an inflated raft that he had on shore, rode an electric bike through the night to Madison and hopped on a bus to Canada via Detroit and then got on a plane. Still no confirmation on where he went. The Green Lake Sheriff's Office has recommended multiple charges. This is according to AP. I don't understand the faking the death thing. If you just want out, go. I mean, just get out of it. Like, listen, if today I woke up and I said, I no longer want to do what I want to do here, like what I'm doing, and I just want to get up and change my life, just do it. I mean, I'm just going to do it. I'm not going to sit around and be like, let me fake my death for some odd reason. I mean, it's not, I mean, what is this, Fight Club, that we think that all of a sudden we're going to have like all of our debts wiped out or something? Or, I mean, were you doing it for life insurance purposes? I mean, you can change your life. I mean, it is okay. I don't know. I always get all weirded out about some of these things that I get to read about and watch, like in particular. Like, I never understand those big crime dramas that occur, or those crime documentaries that occur of all of a sudden this spouse didn't want to be with their spouse and all of a sudden they took them out. It's like, hold on. There is this thing called divorce. You know, it's not the most pleasant thing to go through, but man, really? Like, you're going to risk it all just for this? It makes no sense.
We at Safety FM are not responsible for what this idiot behind the microphone is saying.
He is trying to be entertaining.
Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, so let's talk about this. If you're going to drink in public, don't drive and don't try to make a getaway on your mule. Yeah, on your mule either. Let me explain. Police in Murray, Kentucky arrested a 39-year-old Jonathan Mason twice in the last week for booze and animal-related offenses. Yeah. On December the 7th, a liquor store called to report that a man in the man Mason had unruly behavior when the Fuzz arrived, who refused to leave and told him that he had ridden his mule there and then got on his mule and refused to stop. Onlookers reported that Mason whipped the mule on an unnecessary amount of times among the unspecified mistreatment. So there you go. These infractions earned him an arrest and a slate of charges, including second-degree disorderly conduct, alcohol intoxication in public place, and third-degree criminal trespassing, resisting arrest, second-degree cruelty to animals. Then on December the 9th, police responded to a call of a drunk man riding a mule on the road. It was Mason again, and he refused to stop riding his mule again. He was arrested again and charged with third-degree fleeing or evading a police officer and second-degree cruelty to animals. This is according to KFVS. Okay, so hold on, dude. Like, what the hell's going on here with some of this mule action stuff? Like, this makes no sense to me. So let's let me take a look, sir. Whoa. Let me take a looker here on seeing what we can come up with, because I want more. I want to know more about Mason. That's for sure. Because, man, this is getting weird quick. Let's do the skipper ripper here. Oh, there is some video because, what else are we gonna do? So let me do something here. Let me play with some screens, because that's always what has to happen next. The playing of the screens always has to happen. So if you are on the radio side of this, you're not gonna love this for a moment. But let's take a look on what's going on here. So let's play this one.
Well, some new video this morning of an arrest in Kentucky. Viewer Brandon Story sent us this. This is of the moment when Murray police arrested 39-year-old Jonathan Mason on the back of a mule, and it was actually the second time this week that they did that. Well, Mason was first arrested this past Saturday after officers got a call to a local business about an unruly customer. Authorities say Mason, who appeared to be drunk, rode the mule to the business and refused to stop when ordered by police. Officers took him into custody and then stabled the mule. On Monday, police got a call to the area where they stabled the animal about a possibly intoxicated man riding on a mule down the road.
Okay, so they're showing this dude on this mule and them trying to arrest him. They just pulled him off the mule in regards of it. And I mean, the mule's not probably what you think. The mule looks kind of whitish, not dark colored. I'm kind of surprised here. Hold on.
Which led to the arrest that you see here. Mason is now being held at the Callaway County Jail and faces several charges, including trespassing and cruelty to animals.
Okay, so what is going on here?
The holiday.
I don't even understand anymore. So there you go. Yeah. So some weirdness always. I mean, don't expect anything less ever from people. Definitely don't want to disappoint you there. But man, realistically, you want to ride the mule that bad that you're going out there and saying, hey, I'm addicted to chaos. So there you go. Also, take a listen to this. Elon Musk crossed the $400 billion net worth mark this week. He's the first person in history to achieve the feat. The boost came after SpaceX announced plans to purchase $1.25 billion worth of common stock, valuing the company around $350 billion. Musk owns about 42% of the stock, but controls nearly 80% of the company's vote. This is according to Trung Phong. So there you go. By the way, the Kobayashi letter points out that Musk's net worth has increased on average $4 billion per day since the election. $4 billion per day. Think about that for a moment. Holy Snikes. Also, Tesla stock closed at $424.77 on Wednesday, an all-time high. So, there you go. I guess the guy's doing something right, is what it sounds like, in some way, shape, or form. So there you go. Some stuff to think about today. Okay, so today I learned Canadians haven't had their mail delivered in 4 weeks. Yep. The union representing employees of Canada Post triggered a strike on November the 15th, demanding higher wages and improved working conditions, among other things. Since then, regular mail service has virtually ended, though the government did ensure that the mail for benefit checks would still be delivered in a very limited basis. In the meantime, FedEx has picked up a lot of slack, though the prices have reportedly increased by 40%. Government mediators stopped the negotiations 2 weeks ago. The National Post, a similar named but entirely unrelated Canadian news outlet, reports that there is no end in sight. This is according to the National Post. So there you go. Some stuff to think about. Also, the oldest known stone tablet inscribed with the 10 Commandments is hitting the auction block. The 155-pound marble slab dating from 300 to 800 AD was discovered during a railroad excavation along the southern coast of Israel back in 1913. Initially not recognized as historical significance, it was used to paving stone until 1943 when it was sold to a scholar who recognized its rarity. The tablet will be auctioned on December the 18th, which estimates it will go for $1 to $2 million. Yep. $1 to $2 million for a tablet. And you thought that the Apple iPad or the Apple tablet was expensive. Think about that for a moment.
Another pitfall of our society. Rated R Safety Show.
Yep. So there you go. So let's talk about this. Donald Trump Jr. and Kimberly, whatever the hell her last name is, have called an end to their engagement. He's 46 and she was 55. News of the breakup comes after Trump was spotted holding hands with socialite Bentina Anderson in Palm Beach. She's 38. Kimberly also been named future. Hold on. Yep. Kimberly has also been named the future President Donald Trump's ambassador for Greece. So, sure, it will get interesting as we are talking. Anyways, with that being said, let's talk about the Dow or the numbers or whatever the hell you want to call it, because, people have special names for it. Let's talk about the stock market. Maybe let's do it that way. The Dow lost about 99 points to close at 44,148 on Wednesday. The S&P increased by 49 points to close at 6,084. The NASDAQ climbed 347 points to close at 20,034 and an all-time high. And first time it's broken the 20,000 mark. West Texas Intermediate closed at $70 a barrel, and Brent crude was at $73 a barrel. The national average price of a gallon of gas was $3.02 on Wednesday. Also, Bitcoin climbed Wednesday and stabilized at $101,000. $101,000 is where Bitcoin was at. So there you go. What else did we see? Friday night's Mega Million drawing will be for a $670 million jackpot or a $317.8 million cash payout. So if you're ready to play the game, there's an opportunity to do so. Take a listen to this. Still standing during the appearance of GMA Wednesday morning, Elton John said that his health has never been better despite losing sight in one of his eyes. The 77-year-old explained that he and his husband have blood tests every 6 months, and those show that their health has never been better. As for his sight, John says that it's been 4 months since he has been able to see out of the right eye, and his left eye is not the greatest. But he is working with doctors who gave him the hope and encouragement that it will get better. So there you go. Some stuff going on there. Also, earlier we spoke a little bit about Liam Payne. Well, the two hotel managers who were in contact with Liam Payne moments before his fatal fall from the hotel has been charged in connection with his death, though it's unclear what those charges are. The managers are due in court on December the 19th, while the two men accused of giving Payne drugs are due in court on December the 17th. Payne died in October after falling off a balcony of his third-story hotel room. So it's going to be interesting as the more and more that we definitely get into it. The more we get to talk about it. I mean, I don't know what the hell is going to go on. So take a listen to this. UK-based promotion company Meteor is suing Mike Tyson for $1.5 million. The suit alleges that Tyson wrongfully terminated a promotional contract in order to fight YouTube turned boxer Jake Paul. Meteor is seeking to recoup more than $800,000 in fees paid to Tyson and an additional $729,000 for wasted production and promotion costs. Tyson teams claim that Meteor breached the contract by failing to obtain approval of the promotional material. This is according to ESPN, the worldwide leader, what people say. So yeah, that. I don't know. I always feel like people are sue happy. I don't know why I do feel that, but it just seems like that's the case.
Who truly cares what this guy has to say? Who gives a shit? Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, author James Patterson handed out $500 holiday bonuses to bookstore employees at 600 locations across the country. Book sellers saves lives, periods, he said in a statement released by his publishing company, Little Brown and Company. Patterson also gave $1 million to schools, libraries, and literacy programs throughout the country. This is according to AP News. So there you go. Some Christmas cheer going on as they are going on and doing stuff. I mean, some people want to be cheery around this time and not sure how to do it, so maybe that will bring some level of cheer to people. I never know these things. I never know what exactly to discuss some of this stuff. It gets weird sometimes. Not a doubt about that. Anyways, we're close to that time that we do that thing that we call our main story. So let's do this. Let's talk about it.
Here is our main story on the Rated R Safety Show.
Yeah, main story time and apparently wrong screen time is what it sounds like. Yeah. So, listen, I don't know. We get into this time of the year and people get super excited and that's cool and all that fun stuff. But I don't know. I kind of take a look around and try to sometimes what we will call take the temperature of the room in regard to what's happening. And listen, I have a very close colleague of mine, a friend, we can say, that tells it as it is for the month of December, how nothing really gets done in most workplaces, and people are just waiting to practice for the next party that are going to take place. And I get that. I understand it. I understand what's being said. But the more I look at some of this stuff that's going on, I kind of go, what is going on in most workplaces right now? And listen, I know that people say, well, the summer's pretty busy and people are taking off and what's going on out there. But I take a look at this and I go, look in particular the month of December, how everybody's trying to jam pack everything going on or taking time off. Because listen, anywhere from the HR department to the accounting department to manufacturing, they're having either, end of a year orders that need to be fulfilled. You're having the accounting team looking at every thing that has happened and trying to reconcile all those books. You have the HR people that are out there and they're like, hey, every benefit that you have, you must use. If not, you're going to lose. Use it or lose it, as they like to say in the HR crew. So what goes on in your workplace? Because we get into this month and I go, what is the purpose of the work that we're doing? And listen, this is where some people argue that 13th month that other countries have in regards of giving people time off. And I'm not saying, hey, give people time off for the month of December, but where's the focus point for the most part? Because you have people that are running around trying to close those deals, like year-end bonuses, and we're being realistic here. Year-end bonuses and monthly bonuses and quarterly bonuses are what people are looking at is like, okay, what do I need to accomplish to make sure that I hit this thing? Like, I know people that are programmers that are jamming and taking tests for certifications before it's all said and done. And you're probably sitting here going this morning, well, what the hell are you talking about? And why are you all over the place with this? Because regardless of all these things that you're going around counting, doing, trying to hurry, it does not change still the focus that needs to be presented on safety. And listen, we can sit here and have a weird discussion about this of you can't speed some of this stuff up, but if something terrible, something out of the level of control occurs, guess what? It still has to be investigated. It still has to be looked at. Everything still needs to move around. Safeguards still need to be put in place. And how we respond to the whole damn thing is going to be super important. And people go, what? Well, think about it for a moment. If your safety department came to you today and said, listen, we've saved you over $5 million in the last year with the programs that we have established, guess what they would not be able to do? Prove it. And even if you looked at the numbers from the previous year, what, are you going to have the same reoccurring incident and accident over and over again? The answer is no. But you have to look at it from the standpoint of you can't expedite, you can't speed up. The gravity of an issue inside of the safety department is going to be, much different than anything else. So I don't know. I look at it from the standpoint and I go, what is it going to make the most logical sense when we talk to people about this? Because if you turn around and say something along the lines of, hey, I know everybody else is doing all this stuff and I'm just waiting for something to happen, that's terrible to say for some people. I will always look at some of these things and go, some of the best conversations that I've had have been with maintenance workers that are doing nothing. And when you sit there and say, what do you mean doing nothing? Well, normally they don't work until something breaks. And if you have a good maintenance department, they're normally maintaining those machines anyways, or those things inside of there. So they're maintained. It's not like they're breaking everything down. So how do you explain what you do when everybody else is saying that they're super busy and you're either not finalizing something, but you're waiting for something to happen? I know. It becomes an extremely strange conversation when you really start thinking about it in the long run.
Oops! What did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to the home of real safety talk.
You are listening to Safety FM. We'll be right back.
Hey there, Jay Allen here with Safety FM, where we just don't talk about safety, we live it. And when it comes to safeguarding your future, there's no better partner than Acorns. This part of the show has been brought to you by Acorns and a powerful tool that makes saving and investing easier than ever. We all know that investing can feel overwhelming, especially with busy lives and no time to dive into the nitty-gritty of financial markets, but Acorns changes the game. With Acorns, you don't need to be a financial expert or have a hefty sum of money to get started. In fact, Acorns lets you begin with just spare change. All about those small steps, small investments today that can build into something much bigger over time. Acorns recommends that the expert build portfolio designed to fit financial goals. Then it does the heavy lifting for you by automatically investing your money. It's like having a financial advisor in your pocket working around the clock to help your money grow. So why wait? Head over to acorns.com/safetyfm or download the Acorns app and take that first step towards securing your future today. Remember, in the world of safety and investing, small actions today can lead to mighty outcomes tomorrow. Paid non-client endorsement. Compensation provides an incentive to positively promote Acorns. Investing involves risk. Acorns Advisors, LLC, and SEC registered investment advisors. View important disclosures at acorn.com/safetyfm. At Safety FM, we're all about making smart decisions on the job and in life. So take control of your financial future. This is Jay Allen reminding you to stay safe, stay smart, and invest in your tomorrow.
Rated R Safety Show. Sarcastic? Never.
Is your safety training old, stale, and hacked? Is your safety trainer still preaching a warped version of behavior-based safety? How about safety training that actually addresses your hazards in your workplaces and is not standardized baloney from 25 years ago? Contact the Safety Wars team at safetywars.com or call Jim Posel at 845-269-5772. Remember, if you're receiving this message, you are the solution to unsafe workplaces.
If you're anything like me, you have certain tendencies to put things off, such as filing taxes, seeing the doctor, working on that home improvement project that you're supposed to be doing, but you just haven't gotten to it. And while most of the times it works out, the one thing in life that you really cannot afford to wait on is setting up term coverage life insurance. You've probably seen life insurance commercials on TV and thought, yeah, I'll look into it later. Well, the answer is no. This isn't something that you can wait for. Choose life insurance through Ladder today. Ladder is 100% digitals, no doctors, no needles, no paperwork. When you apply for $3 million in coverage or less, just answer a few questions about your health in an application. Ladder's customers rate them 4.8 out of 5 stars on Trustpilot, and they've made Forbes' best life insurance in 2021's list. You just need a few minutes and a phone or a laptop to apply. Ladder's smart algorithm works in real time, so you'll find out if you're instantly approved. No hidden fees, cancel anytime, get full refund if you change your mind in the first 30 days. Ladder policies are issued by insurers with long proven histories of paying claims. They're rated A and A+ by AM Best. Finally, since life insurance costs more as you age, now is the time to cross it off your list. So go to ladder.com/safetyfm today to see if you're instantly approved. That's LADDER life.com/safetyfm. Ladderlife.com/safetyfm.
Safety never sounded so terrible. Rated R Safety Show.
I know you all want to hit your revenue targets and get the launch done. Well, making sure that your team knows what to do and how to do it is a huge part of it. So I'm sure that you all do different kinds of training, and I'm willing to bet that you probably use PowerPoint, Zoom, etc. I also bet that when you get someone droning on about a topic using these tools, you probably zone out, and your team does too. I mean, it is a reality of what happens. That's why I strongly recommend a tool called Articulate 360. That makes it so easy to whip together interactive, really beautiful e-learnings that really engages people and gets info across. You can create short-form micro-learning, super interactive courses, and really whatever you need when you're in their site. Then with a couple of clicks, you can send it out and check on it and see the progress of your team. Your team can also check back on the training anytime they want in a super simple portal. Literally everyone uses Articulate. Over 120,000 companies and all 100 Fortune 100 companies. Check it out at articulate.com/360 to start a free trial. That's articulate.com/360 to start your free trial. And don't forget to tell them that I was the one that sent you there.
Radio Big. USA, Canada, UK.
I don't ever chase. No, 'cause I'm the personally boy, that's your mistake. Could you see what we had? Gave you more than a chance. Now I see it's time to cut you off. Somebody bring me the scissors. I'm about
Okay, here we go. 44 minutes past the top of the hour. You are still listening to the Rated R Safety Show. This right here, Scarlet Park with Scissors. Yeah, scissoring. There you go. Some stuff to think about. We would like to thank Scarlet Park for allowing us to play Scissors. Songs readily available on Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube Music. Yeah, somebody bring me the scissors. Yeah, I don't think I can really cut my hair. It's about as short as it can get, so there you go. Anyways, there you go. Thank you to Scarlet Park once again for allowing us to play this here on the Rated R Safety Show. Anyways, let me tell you about the most important thing that I will ever tell you in my lifetime, and that's about my friends at To Write Love on Her Arms. No matter what you're facing, you deserve to be connected to help. All you have to do to find out more information is to go to TWLOHA.com. No matter what you are facing, you deserve to be connected to help. And the people at To Write Love on Her Arms want you to know that people have been where you are now. And things can get better. Healing is possible. To find out more information, TWLOHA.com, and go all the way to the far right-hand side and click on where it says Find Help. That will help you right there. TWLOHA.com. To Write Love on Her Arms. So some information for you, just for you to know and to be able to share with others if you feel to do so. So there you go. Also, making a list and posting it once. If you're looking to find Santa Claus, you'd be on the right track if you headed to Finland. The country has a magical tradition that shares the joy of the season with people from all over the world. A post office where people can send their Christmas wish list, and they're able to visit with jolly old Saint Nick every day of the year. It is located at a tourist destination of Santa Claus Village near the city of whatever the hell that says. And it is staffed by a crew of full-time elves. The Happy Crew spends their days sorting through roughly 500,000 letters sent nearly to the North Pole each year and responds to as many as they're able to. The Santa Claus main post office first opened in 1991 and is considered Santa's official address, at least by the Finns. And many visitors many visitors to the attraction are actually surprised that it is actually working post office. While many of the letters received are a wish list from children, others are from adults, and they have been writing every year since they were kids and feel the need to keep in touch with Santa and let him know that how their year has been. Many young adults also write a Santa often asking for relationship advice. To find out more information, all you have to do is go to SantaClausVillage.info, just in case. So it's I like Santa as much as the next guy, but I'm not sure how smart it is to ask for relationship advice from a dude who has taken off on Christmas Eve without his wife for the last 2,000 years or whatever it is. Well, no wonder it's the happiest country on earth. Santa lives there. I mean, maybe that's some stuff to think about. No doubt there. As we are talking. So there you go. Let's talk about some Did You Know real quick. Harvard researchers say they have cracked a code of being happy at work. Their 10-year study of more than 1,000 employees found that the secret is to focus on progress over perfection in your career. Doing this is the way that leads to greater fulfillment than chasing a dream job and ticks off all the boxes. Co-author of the study, Michael Horn, said that you should identify what energizes you, understand what your priorities are, and embrace the trade-offs needed to get there. He said that letting go of the idea of the dream job doesn't mean abandoning ambition. It's about building more satisfying and balanced career. But if you're brain surgeon, then all that means is that you should focus on perfection. I mean, I'm just saying, because you definitely don't want to tell the brain surgeons not to focus on perfection, because that seems a little bit scary to me when you start thinking about the bigger picture here when it's all said and done. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a guy behind a microphone.
Listen at your own risk. Rated R Safety Show.
I'm just saying. I mean, you know this. I know this. So no doubt there whatsoever. Anyways, with that being said, let's bring some John Smalls into our life and let him tell us about what the hell is going on with the Motivation Minute. You know, that's a good place to start. That's for sure.
The Motivation Minute is brought to you by GenesisGoldIRA.com.
The Motivation Minute.
Today's thought was submitted by Larry. In 1983, Steve Jobs recruited John Sculley from Pepsi-Cola to be CEO of Apple. Because of strategic differences and internal disagreements, Jobs was phased out of the company he co-founded. He left Apple in 1985. The company suffered for about a decade and was said to be on the verge of bankruptcy. In 1997, Steve Jobs returned to Apple as CEO. He played a pivotal role in reviving the company. Over the years, Apple transformed from a personal computer company to a leader in cutting-edge digital products, from digital music players called iPods to iPhones and watches and much more. When Jobs passed away in 2011, Apple had achieved a market value of $391 billion.
The Motivation Minute.
This has been today's Motivation Minute, courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com. I'm John Small. Thanks for listening. Your favorite motivational quotes can be submitted for upcoming programs at motivationminute.org.
Hello, I'm Richard Exley with your 1-minute devotion. Pride is often the biggest obstacle to healing and reconciliation. Many of us find it nearly impossible to say, "I'm sorry. It was my fault. Please forgive me." Once, when I made a bad decision that negatively affected our congregation, I had to make a public apology. It was the only way to resolve the issue. Not only did I have to publicly own my mistake, but I had to identify my faulty thinking, which led to my poor decision. Once I did that, my congregation was able to forgive me, move on. James 4 says, "Humble yourselves with an attitude of repentance in the presence of the Lord, and he will exalt you." That's the Amplified Bible. If these devotions are a blessing and an encouragement to you, you can subscribe at oneminutedevotion.com.
Radio Big. USA, Canada, UK.
Okay, here we are, 52 minutes past the top of the hour, and you know what I forgot to give you? I forgot to give you the news. That's what I did. Let's do that. Like, seriously, let's do that. Why don't we do the news?
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Ollie Barrett. The leader of the rebel group that now controls Syria says the notorious prisons run by ousted President Assad will be closed and his security forces disbanded. The head of the HTS group also promised to punish those involved in killing detainees. FBI Director Christopher Wray says he will resign before President-elect Donald Trump takes office. It comes just days after Trump announced his intentions to replace Wray. Kate Fisher reports from Washington.
In an interview over the weekend, Trump said he was very unhappy with the things that Wray had done. Under Wray's tenure, the FBI's investigated Trump, including assisting in a federal probe into his handling of classified documents. In a Truth Social post, Trump said that Wray's resignation is, quote, "a great day for America." In announcing that he would step down, Christopher Wray said he believed it would be the best way to avoid dragging the Bureau deeper into the fray. Trump says he wants to appoint Kash Patel as his replacement. He's a longtime loyalist who's called for dramatically limiting the FBI's authority. Kate Fisher, Washington.
Security along the India-Bangladesh border has been beefed up after attacks against a diplomatic outpost. The Bangladesh Nationalist Party is organising a rally to protest against the incidents in India's northeastern Tripura. Ishan Garg reports from New Delhi.
Officials say local police and the border security forces have deployed troops along the border for the past week. This comes after Bangladesh's erstwhile main opposition party, the BNP, said it would organize a march till India's Tripura state's capital, Agartala. It later said the march will conclude at the India-Bangladesh border's checkposts. Tensions between Delhi and Dhaka have mounted as attacks on Hindu minorities in Bangladesh have risen since Sheikh Hasina's ouster in August. in retaliation to the arrest of a popular Hindu monk in Bangladesh. Right-wing groups in Tripura had attacked a Bangladeshi diplomatic outpost earlier this month, and now the BNP says it is launching a protest against what it calls an insult to Bangladesh and its people. Ishan Garg, New Delhi.
The United Nations General Assembly has overwhelmingly voted in favour of a ceasefire in Gaza. The vote isn't legally binding. The United States voted against the ceasefire, as Jody Jacobs reports from the UN in New York.
158 countries at the General Assembly voted for the ceasefire. 13 countries abstained and 9 voted against the ceasefire resolution. These included the United States and Israel. The US says the document risks sending a dangerous message to Hamas that there's no need to negotiate or release the hostages. The General Assembly also passed a resolution calling on Israel to reverse its decision of banning the UN aid agency UNRWA from January. Jody Jacobs, New York.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
If you think local radio sucks, wait till you hear our free-form station, Radio Big.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't interrupt the news, but hey, or not play the news, but hey, we got there now. That's for sure, as we are doing stuff. Yeah, I don't know what the hell happened there, but you know, these things happen from time to time, so there you go. Anyways, let's talk about some things that happened back on this date. Back in 2015, yes, 196 countries reached a Paris Agreement at the United States Climate Change Summit of the Paris to limit the rise of global average temperature. The 12-page document members agreed to reduce their carbon output and keep global warming well below 2 degrees Celsius, and it could go up into effect the following April. That happened back on this date in 2015. If you're looking at some birthdays for today, let's see. Britton Dalton turns 23. Jamie Laurento turns 33. Kate Todd turns 37. Andrew Whitmore turns 43. Mayim Malik turns 49. Regina Hall turns 54. Jennifer Conley turns 54 as well. And so does Madison Amick turns 54. Billy Knighty turns 75. And Deanna Warwick turns 84 today. So there you go. That's some birthdays that are going on today. If you're looking at some days of the year to celebrate, it's Gingerbread House Day, Christmas Jumper Day, National Poinsettia Day, National Embroidery Day, National Ding-a-Ling Day. What exactly do you do on National Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling? I mean, I have no idea day. I mean, let's figure that out. Okay, if you need a random joke for today, let's do one of those. Ever notice that facial recognition software can pick out a person out of a crowd, but vending machines at work can't recognize $1 if it's bent in the corner? Can somebody explain that to me? Because I still don't understand it. Also, if you need a phone starter for today, try this. What's the most ridiculous spur-of-the-moment purchase you've ever made? Yes, the most ridiculous one is the one that I'm asking for. Yeah, something has to come to mind, no doubt there. Okay, so let's talk about this. During Christmas season, just under 28 of these are sold every second. What are they? Lego sets. So there you go. Okay, so at the top of the hour, I will be going over to radiobig.fm if you want to come and hang out with me. If you're on one of those fancy podcatchers, this is ending right as we end, and you get it right at the moment that it actually, well, not the podcatcher, it should be almost live. But if not, it will drop immediately at 8 a.m. Eastern time. Just so you know. That's normally how it works around here. So, anyways, Sheldon Prime is coming in at the top of the hour on Safety FM if you want to come and hang out with him as he talks about the world of safety consulting. If not, you can come over with me at radiobig.fm as we talk about the world of music and entertainment. So there you go. If I can't leave you with a deep thought for today, I would love to leave you with this. When one teaches, one to learn. When one teaches, to learn. Keep that in mind. Anyways, I know who you are. You know who I am. Love you, mean it, and goodbye. And thank you for always being the best part of what we do around here.
The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the host and its guest and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the company. Examples of analysis discussed within this podcast are only examples. They should not be utilized in the real world as the only solution available, as they are based only on very limited and dated open source information. Assumptions made within this analysis are not reflective of the position of the company. No part of this podcast may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, mechanical, electronic, recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of the creator of the podcast, Jay Allen.